find out how they felt. And when I published these interviews, I cried. And not only did I cry, but I received phone calls from people who read them and said कि हमें रोना आया है पढ़ के ये कितना बड़ा जुल्म है इस शहर में. Because those were very sad interviews. But over a period of 6 years, they became less and less sad. The earlier ones were sadder than not so sad. And so today, unlike even in pre-Zia times, nobody asks you for a nikah-nama anymore. The social values have changed. It is a very big change that has taken place. But gender-related crimes have increased. And our own research on this shows that they have increased because of the new freedoms. And these new freedoms, they are going to lead to more violence, I think, before the new behavioral patterns are changed into societal values. इसका एक किस्सा है वो मैं सुनाऊँ आपको. ये दिलचस्प है in some ways. I had worked during the MRD movement in a village that had been bulldozed by the Pakistan Army in Sindh. I visited it and I asked an elder there, कैसा ये पहले भी कारोकारी होती थी? He said, हाँ होती थी. 10 साल में एक होती थी, फिर उसका चर्चा रहता था कचहरी में. 10 साल बाद एक और हो जाती थी, फिर उसका चर्चा रहता था. An old man. I said, अब क्यों होती है? कहने लगा ये तो होगी. ऐसा क्यों होगी? कहने लगा लोग बेगैरत हो गए हैं तो इस बात से होगी. तो I said कि इसका मतलब ये इसी तरह चलता रहेगा मामला, रुकेगा नहीं. कहने लगा रुक जाएगा. मैंने कहा कैसे? कहने लगे जब सब बेगैरत हो जाएंगे रुक जाएगा. अच्छा. And he added with great concern on his face, he said, I'm an old man. मैं चाहता हूँ इस बेगैरती से पहले मैं मर जाऊँ. अच्छा, I had great sympathy for that point of view, by the way, because it belonged to an old way of thinking, an old culture. I had sympathy for it. It was something expressed so nicely and with so much sadness that it touched me. So, how does the old system fight change? I think that is important. It fights change by acquiring land and property. It fights change by promoting caste and ethnic wars. It fights change by trying to take over systems of governance. All these factors are present in your city today, very much so. And to do all these three things, you need guns. And many cities in the world, even in the first world, have passed through a similar phase. New York certainly did, so did Chicago. And hopefully, we will not follow the same route for very long. A few more issues before I close. Another issue, another reason for the new freedoms, and this is the issue of density. Your settlements are densifying to an extent that people cannot live in them anymore. You have densities of up to, some areas of up to 4,000, 4,500 persons per hectare. You have 6 to 7 persons living in one room. You have major problems of the use of toilets. अगर कभी आप FM रेडियो सुनते हैं तो HBFC का जो टॉयलेट ऐड है वो सुन लीजिएगा. It's a very appropriate ad, जिसमें वो कहते हैं कि हम खड़े हुए टॉयलेट इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते. वो कहता है HBFC की तरफ से कि आप कर्जा लीजिए नया टॉयलेट बनाइए. It's a very important ad, by the way. And so you have this problem. So parents don't come home. Well, father doesn't come home. He sleeps downstairs in the street or in the park. Young couples don't have space for themselves. Mother is happy if the kids remain outside. I mean, we've documented all this. And it's a very big problem, and it's going to be an increasing problem because land is now so expensive, even in a Kachi Abadi, that low-income settlements groups find it difficult. Then there are other issues which I will not touch upon, but which are important. There is Karachi's relationship with the rest of Sindh, which is very much a problem related to social issues. There is a very strong anti-poor bias in urban planning. There is the issue of land and its control. Just to talk about land and its control, 80% of Karachi lives in 120 square yard plots or less. 80%. And 2% of Karachi lives on 400 to 2,000 square yard plots. But this 2% lives on 23% of the total residential area. Now, if after that you say there shouldn't be violence in the city, I would disagree. So these are hard facts that have come out. So I will end here by sort of reading another small part from my writing, and we will finish it off there. What do we need? We really need new societal values. How we can promote them is another issue. But we have to understand what is happening to this city. I think that is important. Unfortunately, there are very few institutions, almost none as a matter of fact, that do serious research on this process of change. I hope, it's a confident hope that Habib University will eventually do it, because it's a liberal arts institution, and I suppose, I hope that it will be able to fill this gap, this enormous gap of understanding of the city. So let me just read this out and finish this talk. For a tolerant, if not a liberal Karachi, not only new societal values are needed, but its immense wealth of talent has to be given space to express itself. All Karachi localities contain musicians, singers, poets, and traditional storytellers, both men and women. I think Romana has also discovered this in your work. However, there is no public space for them to gather, dialogue, or perform. Also, the presence of the custodians of morality at the local level often makes such get-togethers and performances difficult, if not impossible. In addition, there are groups that promote libraries, clubs, and sports facilities. They too have space and finance-related difficulties. A very rich folk culture surrounds the shrines of Karachi, some of it dating back to more than 1,000 years. However, their cultural and religious events are badly organized, and the venues that host them do not have the infrastructure to cater to the needs of both events and the visitors. Also, these events are not patronized by Karachi's liberal elements or intelligentsia. Similarly, parks do not cater to hawkers and performers who cater to and or entertain the general public. Often their activities are disallowed and officially persecuted. And very important, the city does not have a city museum that can inform its citizens of the city's history and evolution.